Alright, so going to be working on the 66 C10 today. Decided to do a carburetor on it. Right now it's got a Rochester 1-barrel, I think it's a monojet. I've had nothing but problems with this thing. Somebody really messed around with it back in the day. When I took it apart and rebuilt it, a lot of just bent parts, even missing parts. So what I'm going to put on there is a Carter YF. From what I've heard, it should be pretty much drop-in, and it's supposed to be a pretty good upgrade over the Rochester. So I went down to O'Reilly's, and they had a remanufactured one that I was able to order in. So I'm going to give it a shot and see if it's any better than what's on there. So I might have to do some adjustment. I don't know, maybe play with the linkage a little bit, but we're going to see how it works. Hopefully it's better than this, because I'm pretty sure I'm dealing with a fuel pooling problem in the intake when I go and shut it off after it's hot. It's really hard to start after that, and I've checked everything else. Everything else seems to be good, so next step, carburetor. So here you can see a little side-by-side comparison of the Rochester on the right versus the Carter YF on the left. I mean, all uses the same mounts, same like direction of how the carb sits and everything. It's just different design. So I got to swap over the little nipple for the distributor vacuum advance. Gonna go here on the YF. I'm just gonna cap this vacuum line since I don't really have any other sources of vacuum on this truck, and the PCV runs into the intake there, so really simple setup. So I'm gonna get everything swapped over, like the linkage and all that, onto the new one and get it bolted in place. Alright, it's on there, feed line is on. You can see it kind of comes close to the valve cover, but it's not touching. So I think this will work for now. Maybe at some point I'll bend up another line, get a little further away, but I mean, it's going to work. So air cleaner is on, and it takes the cake as the smallest air cleaner I've ever used. But that was all the auto parts store had for a 1-barrel. So I'm sure it doesn't flow like anything, but at the end of the day, it is a 250 inline 6, so how much airflow could it possibly use? I'd put the original one back on, but it's pretty well beat, so I might have to get another one or find something, but for now this will work. So, and if anybody is wondering about that line, I love buying this stuff. It is, if it'll focus, this is just hard line from the auto parts store. You can buy it in a bunch of different lengths. It's pretty easy to bend. It comes with fittings on it. Most of the time I'll use like one fitting if it's like a flare like on the carburetor, and I'll just, you know, use a tubing cutter to cut it whatever length I want. But I use this stuff all the time. I have it on the Chevelle. I've done a bunch of hard line work on here, going from the fuel pump, got the distributor advance running a hard line. I even did the PCV in a hard line. This stuff works great. So let's fire this thing up and see what happens. fired right up immediately. It's awesome. Do it. Dude, that is the easiest carb setup ever. I mean, the thing just cranked up within a couple of seconds. It's idling pretty damn good. So I'm sure I'm going to need to tweak around with the carb a little bit. I'm not going to do jets or anything like that. It's pretty simple. There's an idle air adjustment and there's the idle speed adjustment. That's pretty much it. You know, you've got that needle right there will be adjusted. And basically it's just like a idle air fuel mixture on it. So I'm going to mess around with it, see what happens. For now I'm going to take it for a drive and see how it is compared to the other one. So my initial thoughts on the carb swap, so good. It fired right up immediately. I didn't even have to touch the gas at all. Already it just feels so much smoother. So I haven't even tuned this thing yet. Like, all I did was set idle speed and did a rough estimate on where the idle air mixture screw needs to be at, but I mean, it's smooth. It does have that kind of like bog and possible backfire if you just stab the throttle real quick, but I think it's just the fact that it's a 250 truck engine. I mean, it's not exactly, you know, a speed demon or anything like that, so I think it's just asking for more than what the engine can give. So I really think this is going to be good. Like, I mean, just cruising in third, just tip into it, and it goes. Like, it's smooth. So here you can kind of tell from the stop how well this works. no fog, just takes it right off. I haven't even checked the timing yet, because I did a balancer on it over the last couple of days. I don't know if the old one had, you know, slipped at all, but I mean, it seems to be dead on. So pretty happy. I think if you have a Rochester and you're having trouble with it, go with the Carter YF. You can get them brand new from the auto parts store. I got mine from O'Reilly's. It said it was reman in 2020. So, I mean, I'm happy. I think this works. So, give it a shot. So, that about does it for today on this truck. It's running great. Really happy with it. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I know the taillights have been giving me some trouble. I got to throw a new switch in it. Probably going to redo the wiring going from the inside of the truck to the back where the taillights are. Might even put some new lights on it. But they keep going in and out. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So that'll probably be next. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. I'm going to be trying to post more often. I know I'm really bad about taking videos of stuff that I'm doing. I've done a few things to the Chevelle over the last week or so with like the rear springs. I threw 3-inch drop springs in it. I just didn't record it. So, but I'm going to try and get better at it. So that'll do it for tonight, and I will see you next time.